Welcome back to Natelby Reefing, and this is an update just before I head back out to work for another couple of weeks. And I thought I would go through some of the parameters that are in these two tanks, just for if anyone was interested in sort of, what levels are what. I don't test very often, maybe once every 2 or 3 weeks, and it's usually done the day before a water change. The water changes for this particular tank, which is the Waterbox Cube, I want to say 20. It gets about 15-ish liters, 12 to 15 liters, and the other tank gets about whatever's left in the 20-liter bucket. So that's either going to be 8 or 5 liters depending. So this tank here is currently at 26 degrees, and the alkalinity in this tank was 7.2, with the calcium being 400. And that's once a week dosing of All4Reef. And the All4Reef dose in this tank, I've just increased it this week to 2.5 mils once a week with the water change, as well as giving 1 drop of an iodide solution. The corals are doing pretty well with that. Everything seems pretty happy, and I can't really complain about how this tank is going. Let's see. So now this tank here is the Peninsula 15, and this tank here, like I said, gets about 7-ish liters, between 8 and 5 depending. It is alkalinity was 6.7, and the calcium was 400 as well, and the temperature also sits at 26 degrees. That is pretty much it. And it also gets, so this one's currently getting, it was getting 1.6 mils of All4Reef once a week with 1 drop of the iodide solution. And but it's been increased this week. So this week was the first time we put a little bit more in, and that was 2 mils. So now this tank is getting 2 mils of All4Reef. I dose once a week because dosing tiny little amounts every day is labor intensive for my wife, who takes care of the tank, as well as I just don't see the point of it, to be honest. This is the iodide that goes in. This is 1 drop in each tank once a week, and I think the soft coral that are doing so well, I think it really has to do with that. If I'm completely honest, I think that's really helping the soft corals. Particularly, you can see the growth on the toadstool here. It's just like ginormous, and it's requiring a lot of repositioning of the rocks and things like that to just to make sure that it doesn't fall over. I had to move it a little bit because it was basically resting on the Duncans, but everything is growing really well. I'm really happy with the Duncans growth. You can see sort of, the angle's a bit horrible, sorry, but like you can kind of see the new heads growing underneath there. But as it stands, tanks are doing really well. This one's looking awesome, and I think this one's coming together quite nicely as well. You can see the Xenia on that side. It's pretty happy. So yep, this is the update before I head back to work, and you'll get another one in maybe about 3 weeks time when I get back. Thanks for watching.